This is a message to the black community. We need to start getting real with ourselves. And the time for sitting on the fence and trying to appease both sides of the fence, for me, is stopped. Okay? We have degenerates in our community. Degenerates in the black community that run around the community and they sell drugs, they stab people, they shoot people, and they generally terrorize the community. There are mothers who are consistently in churches burying their children. And what we have now is we have a generation of apparent men who uphold these young terrorists in the community, right? And they say things like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so from so-and-so. He's a real nigger, right? That's them real niggas over there, etc., etc. And the bottom line is, we either want better for our community or we don't, right? It's really that simple. I've got a 10-year-old son. Do I want my son part of a community where if he goes to school, he could be robbed by someone who's a degenerate, stabbed by someone who's a degenerate, or another older man attempt to tell my son that he wants to send him outside of London to go and sell drugs for him, or push drugs for him, or collect drugs for him? No. Do you want that for your children? No. So a lot of the time when these people who do this kind of stuff are apprehended by police or something bad happens to them when it comes to the police, the black community get upset and they're up in arms. Now, for me, you need to understand who you are going to champion as black people. We need to understand who are we going to champion as our martyrs as black people. Are we going to make people who clearly were terrorizing the community one of our martyrs? Now, I don't like to speak bad of people. I don't like to speak bad of the dead. But the bottom line is, we have a bunch of terrorists in our community, right? And it's up to the men to stop riding the fence on this. The men in the community, first of all, a lot of these young boys have fathers. And a lot of these fathers are not taking their own sons under their wing, okay? And they're not molding them in the right way. Secondly, a lot of the fathers are giving these young boys passes to run riot in the community and actually upholding them in the community because they're scared of them. Because they can stab them, because they can shoot them, or because they're part of this gang, or because they're part of that gang. And the bottom line is, do we want better for the community? Do you want better for black people, or don't we? It's time to stop sitting on the fence. That's what I personally believe. It's time to stop sitting on the fence. We need to call out degenerate behavior within the community, or we're going to get what we always got. Now, in the case of Chris Kaba, do I believe that he should have been shot dead? No. I don't believe he should have been shot dead. Okay? However, do people like him put themselves in positions where they are known to the police, where their criminal activities or previous criminal activities were known to the police? Do they put themselves on the police radar to the point where police may think, oh my gosh, that guy today may have a gun in the car. That guy may have drugs in the car. That guy may have a knife in the car. Listen, everything in life is choices. Everything is choices. We can either choose to do better or we can choose to do bad. And a lot of people choose to do bad, right? So if you choose to do bad, what obligation do I have as part of the community that doesn't want bad people within it? What obligation do I have to care about you when you have been doing bad to other black people? And this is why I say the wider communities look into the black community and they know we don't love each other. They know that a lot of us are degenerate because we kill each other at a rate like no other community does, right? So they can see that we don't love each other. We can see that we don't love each other. And then we start crying when one of us dies from a stabbing or from a shooting or something like that. And it's just like, what's with the fake love? Like, what's with the fake tears? Do you know, like, I can't do the fake tears thing. I can't do the fake love thing. When I love my brother, I love my brother wholeheartedly. When Black Lives Matter wholeheartedly. It matters whether a police kills a black person, and it matters whether a black person kills a black person. Black lives matter to me across the board. It doesn't matter who does it. If a black life is lost, I don't want that happening. Doesn't matter whether it's from a white person, Japanese person, a Jewish person, a Chinese person, a black person, an Indian person. It does not matter. The loss of a black life is something that is tragic. Unfortunately, we make ourselves lose our lives at an exponential rate, more so than anybody else is killing us. So if we are killing ourselves and people are watching us kill ourselves, they can see that we don't respect ourselves. So then why should they respect us? If we don't respect ourselves, why should anybody else respect us? It doesn't make any sense. People are watching the way we treat each other, knowing that we don't respect each other, knowing that to our own selves, our lives don't mean anything. So if our lives don't mean anything to ourselves, why should another group of people care about our lives if the people that we claim to be our family don't even care about our lives? It's time to stop riding the fence on this. It's really time to stop acting as if we care, and we need to actually start caring, and showing that we care starts with action. It starts with us actually saying, you know what? These are things that are good for the community. These are things that are bad for the community. If you want to be a part of the quote unquote community, you can't come in the community with degenerate behavior. It just doesn't make any sense. All people on this planet, every community, black, white, Asian, Jewish, Arab, Indian, doesn't matter. They all have their degenerates. They all have their underworld. They all have their criminals. The only problem that black people have is that we uphold our criminals as the upper echelon of society, and we give them respect. We give our degenerates too much respect. Okay, whereas the other communities, those people couldn't go on like that in the community. They don't respect those people. Those are not the people that they trot out in front of the world to say, look, this is what we are. No, they keep their underworld underground. They keep their criminals underground. We put our criminals on top of ground and say, look at those people. Those are our martyrs. Not for me. Not for me. Maybe for you, but not for me.